welcome to the second title of the evening. Uh, Worth noting that this is a re-record. The first version of this review didn't get broadcast because of audio problems. Like, so, are we? Hopefully, we are being broadcasted and you can hear us and all that stuff. But up this time is Desperados 3. Um,
Mhm.
so Desperados 3 is the third game in the Desperados series, which is a bunch of real-time strategy games set in the Old West. Um, not not traditional uh, Command and Conquer, Warcraft, Starcraft, what have you, real-time strategy games. It's more you control like an individual. You control at the most a group of people, um, and lead those individuals against various sundry bandits.
Mhm.
Uh, and we got the PlayStation 4 version of this game, which is awkward because anyway, here's Petty to give us the body of the review.
So yeah, this game has some control issues because of being on controller.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to iron some of them out going into the options. Like by default, the camera didn't follow your active character, so you had to basically trail after them with the right stick. So
Mm.
when I got that sorted out, it helped a little bit, but there's still some other awkward things. Like,
Well, you're playing a real-time strategy game on a console. It's going to be a little bit clunky just from lack of being able to point and click quickly.
yeah, and of note, even though I'm playing on PS4, it doesn't let me use the touchpad like a mouse. If you all it is if you press the touchpad button, it will quick save. So that's something to keep in mind.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I wasn't able to get very far because I'm not great at these kinds of games.
And I'm sure it was compounded by controlling a real-time strategy game on a controller,
Hmm.
even if it's just like an individual for at least the beginning missions.
Yeah, because I did get to the second character, and you do basically split them off, like take turns. I don't know if there's a way you can like make them coordinate to do actions. Like, have somebody throw out a trap and then somebody, shoot the person down or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But there seems to be five playable characters. There is Cooper, who is your basic all-arounder. He has a distraction, a knife throw, and a revolver. There's Doc, who can heal people, and he's also basically the sniper. And who were the other ones? I'm forgetting.
There's Hector Mendoza, Isabel Moreau, and Kato Hara.
Yeah. And so yeah, there also is the thing in the game called Showdown, which is kind of like it lets you stop time. But so far, I'm only able to make it do one action. So I don't know if that's just a failure on my part or if there's just something wrong with this mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, this kind of tells me about showdown mode right here. Yeah, you can plan one action per character, it seems. Which, I guess that's kind of cool, but it's still, if you're stuck in a situation around multiple guys, instead of just being able to, mow them all down quickly with your revolver, you're just kind of screwed. There's a lot of stealth involved in this game. And as far as music goes, it's your standard Western affair. So, like, I don't think they ripped off anything classic, but you can definitely tell it was Western inspired.
Which makes sense, given that this is a game set in the Old West.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in terms of like its graphics and such, well, I mean,
The
seems to
graphics
look well enough.
Yeah, it looks well enough. It almost looks like a diorama.
Uh-huh.
Like, you can tell things are a little bit off.
Like,
but
and
go ahead.
And going back to the whole, this game plays better on a PC. Like, you see this viewpoint here. This is something that works better on a monitor that you're only like looking at 6 inches away or something like that.
Oh yeah, playing this on my actual TV I was playing it on, I couldn't read the text or basically make out much of anything.
Yeah, not surprised. Like, once again, like, I'm willing to bet that this game, like so many other real-time strategy games, and it's not like you can't make a real-time strategy game work on a console. The Pikmin series comes to mind. Or if you weren't a Nintendo fan, Overlord.
Yep. Overlord was some good shit.
But, those were very different implementations of the real-time strategy game than what we're seeing here. While you're not dealing with a vast amount of units, it's still very much couched in the tropes of real-time strategy games, parsed down that they are. And, it's just overall recommendation is going to be get the PC version of this if you so desire, because, it controls better, it looks better, it's just very clearly designed for a mouse and keyboard, and they managed to wedge it into a gamepad, but that's never not going to be awkward. There's just not enough buttons, and an analog stick is just not going to give you the precision of a mouse. And unlike an FPS, there's no equivalent of aim assist in a real-time strategy game.
Like, the best they can do is maybe snap the cursor onto something, but if there are too many things together, that's more trouble than it's worth.
Yeah, like, it'd probably work out like you do that in conjunction with, like, say, the D-pad, having moving from target to target or something like that. Anyway, in terms of pricing, so going over all this, the base price is $50, which is like kind of budget, but kind of not. Like, budgets in like $30-$40. Full on AAA pricing is $60, so it's right there in the middle. And this also does have the bonus or additional content. Nothing like the PC version has a soundtrack option that you can purchase for $10. Not a thing you see on consoles.
I wouldn't be surprised if you can get it on like Bandcamp or something like that for non-console players. Possible. Or for console players, non-PC rather.
Yeah. But you can buy the soundtrack on Steam as well. Not sure if that applies to GOG or the Epic Game Store versions, but the option is there. What is universal throughout the stores is the Season Pass. The pricing's a bit different. Still not sure what's going on here, because the Season Pass is $13 on the PC and it's $14. It's $15 on the PlayStation Store. Doesn't seem like that's not a huge difference in terms of purchases, but still, it is to be noted. And the season pass, it's 3 additional missions that are going to be a new campaign. I don't I don't think we have an ETA on those yet. At least I haven't heard anything about that. But if you like the game and want more of it, it is coming on the way. Now there's a digital deluxe version on all platforms, but once again, there are some parity issues, mainly due to the soundtrack. The soundtrack is not, I don't think is in the console version of that, but also the pricing. The Desperados 3 Digital Deluxe Edition on Steam will clock in at about $60.
The consoles don't usually have a place to keep game soundtracks.
Yeah. Anyway, the Digital Deluxe Edition of Desperados 3 on the PlayStation Store, $70. It's ultimately if you want this game, get the Digital Deluxe Edition of the Desperados 3. It's gonna clock you about 20 bones additional to the $10 for the PC version and 20 on the PlayStation. But that's still a $5 discount for the package versus buying this and the deals, the universally available season pass. The soundtrack is a different, that doesn't seem to be much of a factor on price, surprisingly. Anyway, so bit of a convoluted purchasing option there, but it's nothing compared to your standard Ubisoft release.
Anyway, all editions of this come with the game.
Yeah. Among other things, and you don't need a flow chart. It's just buy the Digital Deluxe Edition on Steam. That's your purchase.
Unless you aggressively don't care about soundtracks.
Or good controls.
Yeah.
Anyway, Petty, what's your recommendation on this game, independent of clunky gamepad?
It seems interesting, but because this game's kind of out of my usual skill set, it's hard for me to propose a recommendation fully for it.
Fair enough. All right, so a bit of a as a game, a bit of a mild recommendation. At the very least, it's got novelty on its side of being a fairly unique combination of.
Yeah, you don't
games.
usually get Wild West themed game. You don't get that many Wild West themed games at all, and when you do, strategy game is not the common genre for them. You're more likely to get an open world or a shooter or something.
Not to mention, the other Desperado games are on PC as well. So if you want to get into the series, in fact, from reading
is this the only one that's on consoles?
Yes. Reading up on Wikipedia, apparently the reason why they made Desperados 3 a prequel was because the last game, Desperados 2, was released, a decade ago. And, this is getting people reintroduced to the franchise.
Which makes sense.
Make of that what you will. But, it's basically comes down to buy the PC version. I'm not sure how many times we've stated it, but, it's really the core of this review here. So with that in mind, Be sure to tune in after the break as Galax will be giving us a review of Robo Zaro.